이제 익숙하지 않겠지만 좋은 모습 보여드리려고 많이 노력해 보겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Wonderful interview once again, and we're gonna head. We already have the pick and ban here, and yes, as I told you, we're gonna have the Annie.
On the side of G2.
Yep, we're gonna have the Annie. We're gonna have Seraphine mid lane, and we're gonna see once again Lysia on the Sejuani top lane here.
Ooh, and also the answer here from King with the Mordekaiser, a champ I really like. It also can just take a champ out, you know, out of the equation when you want to have like a setup as a team as well. Although there are not a lot of targets you can easily ult. Also, don't get confused by the summon names on the side of King. Those are the names for ATK.
Yeah.
So just to make sure.
ATKers are in the finals versus G2.
ATK made it to the finals.
God.
No, but of course those are players of King.
I like the Ezreal recon here.
Yeah, it's something where you already know G2. They play like a really meta-focused draft. They can pick something like the Sejuani. You already have an Annie, which will not have it that easy to get in. You just want to have mobility, even if they would have picked something like Vi or Jarvan. The Ezreal is just going to make it easy to get out of there, and I think that's why they were so comfortable picking it. They also played very well. Su already has been showing it in the earlier game against G2 Hull, the one from 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're completely happy with that pick as well.
Yeah, but I'm also
you can play from a high range.
I like the adaptation from G2 here. I like that their draft much better now. It feels like they have a much better chance compared to last game.
I agree.
Yeah, especially with the Annie support here. She's going to be able to, you know, peel more her AD carry. The Xayah, you know, she can stun the Rakan when he's going in. And that gives... And also the Xayah with her ult, she's going to be able to escape. So there is much more mobility here from the bot lane for G2.
Yeah, exactly. There's also something where I think Rakan, of course, generally a good champ, but Annie has such a way to stun up the Rakan when you try to go in. And Tai can also use the Feather Storm to dodge out the Grand Entrance and Quickness combo. So that's something really going for G2L. Definitely a draft where they have a lot more win conditions. But then again, we're playing against King that you kind of like, that just needs to be the start. You gotta play a flawless game as well on your side. You gotta have much more consistency, many more ideas as well, because King is so damn strong.
Exactly, they are indeed very strong, and they don't. If you make a mistake, they're gonna
punish,
capitalize on that. They're gonna punish and maybe snowball the game. But last game we did see some mistakes from them too, and G2 were also trying to catch on those ones, but it was not enough. So we'll see how this game is gonna go. I'm very excited to see. But how about we talk about the top lane here? We have the Mordekaiser versus the Sejuani. How are we feeling about this matchup?
I mean, it is a matchup where Mordekaiser is just... I think Mordekaiser generally in a fine spot, especially if you look at the 1 versus 1 scenario, and if we consider how Jisoo played before as well, how dominant she has been performing in top lane. I think she's gonna be like really favored in that matchup, just generally from the matchup itself, but also how well she's playing. And the Mordekaiser, it can be a tool that just, you know, punishes Lysia early on, but it also can be a tool to take her or even the Bel'Veth out of fights later on to, for example, deny Karina with the Bel'Veth to get to her true form because she takes her out of the fight, while G2 Hell might even take a pick, but then the Bel'Veth is just not able to get back in to actually get the true form with the ultimate.
Yep.
And thanks to that, you can still kill her off very easily. Like there's ways you can use the Mordekaiser to just shut down the members as well, to deny something and already like put under a lot of pressure on top lane, which also plays into the game, the vision game they want to play.
Perfectly, and we're gonna have the Seraphine versus the Taliyah mid lane, which is in favor of the Taliyah, punishing a bit Seraphine, at least in the laning phase, because I'm assuming that the Seraphine would want to play this one a bit more passively. So, but yeah, now we have more room to talk about more about this draft, since there's going to be a bit of delay before the game, because I lost my button.
Yeah, true. Yeah. The red button.
The red button is gone. So, very excited to see what both of these teams are going to do. If it's going to be close or super fast game, I'm really hoping to see a reverse sweep here. It's going to be sad to see only 2 games played for, you know, a grand final.
That is true. I mean, for the storyline, definitely would be great, but then again, like I said, there's so much going for King just generally in how they have been playing so far. Focused a lot on King right now. I think like throwing it back to G2 Hell as well. Belveth is something which, like I said, I wanted to see something from Karina where she just feels a lot more comfortable on. It's a champ she also generally likes to play.
Yeah. And we saw it yesterday, and she did great. But that was a completely different team you were playing against, and they're going to be able to punish her much more and try to deny that Herald as much as they can.
For sure, for sure. But at the same time, there's also a lot of scaling. You know, Belveth, infinite scaling, getting their attack speed just getting very, very strong, especially if there's not a lot of action happening early on. Who knows? Maybe they even then, even though they don't want to play more like calm early game, they could still look for something early on themselves if they see room to punish it, like safely, so she can just farm up in the jungle as well. Maybe get a farm advantage out of it. All these kind of things. That could definitely happen for them too. And even though, yes, the top lane matchup is favored for the Mordekaiser, there's also something you could look into. Yes, you don't play around top lane that much.
Yeah,
but there's a lot
especially
of
when you have Sejuani.
Yeah, but there's a lot of safety around the bot lane that if Karina sees an angle and she knows exactly where Candleherb is, that she can also use the top lane to, you know, get into the game, especially if Lysia is doing fine, is healthy, and there's a gank angle.
Yeah, and are we expecting to see King do the same thing that G2 did for them in this jungle? Maybe an early invade this time from King? But I doubt so. I think genuinely King, they don't want to go for those risky and cheesy plays. They want to play by the book.
They definitely do, but at the same time you also have a Talia. So right now I'm thinking of putting the draft into my hat. But yeah, I don't think you want to actually invade into an any that has the stun charged up and could, especially if you're walking together, could just stun you all up. So I think we're just going to see a calm early game with not that much happening. Maybe we see control around the bot lane yet again, although this time it's still important to get because especially as an Annie, it should be easy to, you know, just like threaten them with the high order attack range, with the stun being up, just to force a quick early trade.
Especially in the, and I prefer the Xayah Annie over the, we have Ezreal.
Yeah,
the Ezreal Rakan in early games, because I feel like, yes, Rakan is great support right now and he is buffed and all of that, but he's not so good, you know, in the early stages of the game before level 6.
Exactly.
Because he only has his W, you know, and he's not playing with the Xayah. So the range of the W? The E or the W?
You mean the jump?
Yeah, the jump.
Yeah.
No,
W.
not the jump. Because he gets a higher range with the Xayah compared to other champions.
Oh, the battle dance. The E.
Yes, the battle dance.
Yes.
This guy knows all the names of all the spells. He was learning them. No, but it is actually very impressive. How do you do to remember all the names?
I know, just put it down like, you know, when you learn language, vocabs, and then just
He
for the
speaks
spells.
Deutsch. So, yeah. But looks like the game is taking much longer than expected to start, so we're going to leave you with a break for 5 minutes, and hopefully the game is going to start very soon after that. And we are back to continue analyzing this draft. Who do you feel has the better drafts? I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
I think G2 has a better draft for this time compared to King.
That's true. I think if there's any game they have the best chances to win against King,
It's this one.
it's this one.
It's the reverse sweep.
No.
Hopefully.
You're believing in the reverse sweep. I will say that even though I think the draft, I think G2 Hell's like nameplates off, their draft is better, and also I think this is the best draft they had against King so far. I still just don't see it. I think King just plays. I mean, you can't say flawless. There still were some mistakes, but they're very close to it. They're still playing very controlled. They have good synergy, and they perfectly play around each other. Although the draft this time is definitely a lot more different than the previous drafts they have played. So it's still gonna make it more interesting how, like, if they can show us something new and can execute this well as well. But still, I'm going for King.
I feel like this game is going to be a lot of teamfights going on in the top side because of the Herald. You know,
Yeah,
and you know how good it is for the Belvet. She has to focus on the Heralds.
Yeah.
Also, I like the synergy between the Sejuani and the Belvet because of how easy it is for the Belvet to proc Sejuani's E.
That is true.
But hey, we have the game ready. Let's get into this one and see what's going to happen.
I mean, the crowd is
already cheering for G2.
The crowd is heavily cheering for G2 Hell.
We're having some G2 Hell fans here.
But I really believe that the King, they're using it as fuel.
Sorry, what do you think King are using it into? Yes.
As fuel to play into G2 Hell right now. They are confident. They don't care if people underestimate them.
To put a ward into G2. Yep. They want to see where the Sejuani... No, not the Sejuani, the Belvet. The Belvet, you know, you got so used to seeing the Sejuani in the jungle, but no, it's actually the Belvet as a jungler here. We're finally having a heal from an AD carry this game, which is the Saya.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's like it's just you can't take the healer ever with these other champs because of all of this CC. Like, you always gotta take the cleanse. Saya is a bit easier to work with the Featherstorm here.
If we can actually have the volume a bit more up for the game. I'm not able to hear it very well. Perfect.
Right.
Look at Colombe. She's already trying to look to hide on. Yep, to hide into those bushes and get it. She's over this Rakan and Ezreal.
Yeah.
And as I told you, I really prefer the Anizaya over
Yes.
the Rakan Ezreal in
Yes.
this bot lane, especially early.
Yeah, you could already see that King, they weren't even going for the ward on bot lane in the push. They already knew they have to
Yeah.
give it up. Colombe can threaten them with the stun as well, just has a high range. And they just know they just want to chill, they want to farm up, not want anything to happen this early on. And there probably shouldn't be anything happening. Karina passed towards top side, Kendall towards bot side, but Kendall Herb will surely also get a ward placed in her jungle. Colombe is
Seraphine
moving.
getting the vision on the river. And let's remind you guys that this is the first time we're seeing King playing the red side. So keep that in mind.
That's also true. That's another first. Very different draft. Probably also because they got forced onto red side in this one. I mean, in the end, actually sides swapped after each game.
Yeah. We're having the Belvec maybe looking for a gank in the top lane. But no, she's not gonna go for it yet. Or maybe in the mid lane? Can we get to see what's going on in the mid lane
walking
there?
up in mid lane. But he is just walking out of it.
Yeah.
As you can see on the minimap.
Yeah. Everything's slow for now, just poking from both the AD carries.
Tifa fairly low on mana.
Yeah.
And she needs to look to just recall here and use the teleport, which is pretty rough because that's also not a really optimal recall timer here. She should be able to at least get the tier to start stacking that up. So that's not too bad to at least be fine on mana. But yeah, it still could be worse, but she has to invest in teleport, and I think here
Okay, I
could
think
just walk
something is
back
going
into
on
the
in the
lane.
bot lane.
Oh, Dini going in. Counter's trying to trade back, but that actually was a really good trade for King as they are crashing in or trying to crash in the wave here, and that's what G2Hell is trying to stop.
But so far, we're only seeing that this Sejuani is really struggling against this Mordekaiser already. We're seeing a CS dip, but look, I think we might have a gank here, but we're seeing the belt. No, she's just clearing the wave. I mean, the Sejuani is pretty low, and she needs to back this one.
As the fight is breaking out on bot lane, the wave is huge. G2Hell wants to block it off, but in the end it's going to result in a trade. Zoo needs to flash out, but it's a failed flash by Zoo. King so far playing so flawlessly. Zoo getting 2 MVPs, but this time she failed flashes and G2Hell punishes it.
Flashed into the wall from Ezreal
As
here.
action is continuing on top lane, can Lysia proc the permafrost? The answer is no. Jizo is going to get out of this one, but not without investing the ghost.
I feel so bad for the Ezreal here. She was going to escape, but sadly the failed flash here gets the first blood for G2 for Colombe.
Yeah, and that is something they need to heavily punish here. Su now taking the Cull because she just wants to scale on this one. Cult is securing a Noon Quiver with the bonus damage onto the minions. It's going to give her a huge advantage as we look at the replay yet again.
I mean, the ignite on her. And yeah, first blood for the Ag. King are gonna get this first dragon uncontested, but it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
Cloud, Drake.
I mean, in the last game, they contested it successfully, but in the last game, they were also much more focused on the early game. We have Karina on the Belveth here, and this time they're turning it around. This time they're taking their attempt to punish King, especially in the later stages of the game. Just scale well, have a better draft. This is their goal, and just play out the draft better. But with the Cloud now being off the Rift,
we're not gonna have a Cloud Soul.
we're not gonna have a Cloud Soul, and King still can keep up, you know, the Drakes and the pressure with it to put G2Hell on a timer. Although that said, later on, with the spot lane, I still see G2Hell getting a Drake fairly easily.
I most definitely agree with you, but I think we're mainly going to see those fights and aggression towards the Herald, because King doesn't want to let that go for the Belveth. So far, very quiet for both sides of the map. Not much difference when it comes to CS between both lanes. Others and Ezreal is a bit ahead.
That is true. She got a good lead here, which also is almost evening out the gold, despite the first blood, which is pretty huge. Scuttle now also picked up a Candle Herb, as Karina can't contest that. Is going back to Wolves. A lot of damage dealt when Entrance used, but now this might be Sue falling. She doesn't have the flash, remember. Cleanse used, but it's not enough for her to get out. She can't Arcane Shift out of this one because it's on cooldown. G2 Health spot lane starts to dominate.
Kill for the Xayah here. Very well played from the bot lane. 2v2 ends up for 1 kill towards G2. We're seeing the domination we talked about here. How Xayah Annie has so much more advantage than the Rakan Ezreal. And you know what? It feels like the Ezreal and Rakan are really not respecting that, because they were the one who actually engaged.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting because the Rakan now, and the bot lane is a lot around the support matchups, especially. The Rakan now and the bot lane of King, they seem to struggle with this kind of bot lane. That's before we've seen them playing the Karma, we've seen them in the Annie being able to be more controlled, because we also see it on Colombe's side and how she's playing it. And now they're going for fights they never should go for. They knew Sue doesn't have the flash. They knew there's a lot of damage with the Blade Caller as well. So many tools G2 Hell could use to just finish them off, and they still are not respecting it.
Yeah, most definitely they're not. But look, they're gonna go for that Herald, as we talked about. It is the priority. 4 members here in the top lane. Annie roaming towards top, trying to get the vision. But they know that, and also King is answering back. They don't want to let this Herald for the Velvet. We're gonna see the Xayah also roaming towards the top lane. But are they gonna make it in time is the question here.
They definitely are gonna try, even if the Herald goes over to King. Right now they want to look for an engage. Colombe with the flash influence used. Herald taken by King. Now the fight is coming back. Lysia is gonna get ulted by the Mordekaiser. Is in the death realm by the rest of the G2 Hell team. Is trying to shut down the targets. Anker's gonna hit. Lysia taken down by Jisoo. Now they can go back in with the cease and desist. Colombe is gonna get taken down as well. It looks like King is completely decimating them. While Ezreal still on bot lane, the two-shot barrage is gonna hit Karina and take it down as well. Cultist with the Feather Storm, but low HP. The flash Blade Caller is gonna miss on Candle as well, so that's no kill for her coming through. Breather's Wall by his, making sure that Tifa can't get out of this one, as she is out of mana, and it is also a delayed ace. 5 kills for King and the Herald.
Ace for King here, wonderful team fight. And you know what? It was a 4v5. It was a 4v5 and King was able to ace G2. And also thanks to the Ezreal ult from the bot lane there. Nice snipe, but this was huge for King and so sad to see for G2. This really puts them in such a bad position here. And it's already 3k difference so early into the game. They should have really just backed. Yeah, they really should have just not taken that fight there.
Yeah, but to be honest, like, what do you want to do here? Not take the fight when you're on a 5 versus 4?
Yeah.
G2 just didn't think they would lose this one because they had the members' advantage, and still they got aced. They got no kill was going.
We're gonna have here a replay and see exactly what happened. So the flash from the Annie, the Vi does take the Herald. I feel like they kind of went too late, but look. It's like they're not even trying to damage the Mordekaiser, but the Mordekaiser is dealing so much damage in the back lane there.
Yeah, Mordekaiser actually was in the death realm. I think that was like pretty hard to spot there.
Yeah.
But that's how she took out Lysia, and then she was in the middle of the team. Then
and the snipe in from
as well.
Ezreal.
And Karina gets taken down by that one, and yeah, at this point, fight is over. But it's just so crazy because, like, of course you're gonna go for the fight. You're 5 versus 4, and in the 5 versus 4 plus the two-shot barrage, King is acing G2 and is taking the Herald. That is just crazy. This shows the big difference between the two teams.
I feel like maybe they should have focused on the Mordekaiser, but they were trying to help the Seraphine because she was isolated, and they thought maybe they had a chance there, but it was not the case. And King are gonna get the second Drake here, Ocean Drake for them.
Yes.
We might see maybe a gank from Velvet. But we have Talia here. 4 members in the bot lane. We might see a dive here.
Karina's there to cover, but Kalti is so low. It's actually just a flash and quickness to finish her off. Colombe should die as well. Sue's gonna get chased down by Tibbers. No chance for her to escape. but that is still a 2-for-1 in favor of King.
2-for-1 in favor of King. G2 are struggling this game. King are finding kills here and over there. This is not looking good for G2 at all, even though we talked about they do have an easier draft to execute and a better draft in general, but it feels like they lost the chances at this point.
Yeah, I also wouldn't say, you know, that, like, yes, G2 Hell I think has a good draft, but at the same time, it's not like it's like huge.
Yeah,
draft
exactly.
difference.
It's close.
King still has so many tools to easily, you know, win the fights if they play it right. And they
especially with the
well.
Mordekaiser.
Indeed. Taking out Lysia and then being in the middle of the enemy team while stealing the stats from Lysia after killing her as well. That was just huge for Jisoo as well. And she's just doing so good. I mean, every one of them is doing so good. They're individually so strong. As the Herald is now getting used in mid lane as well.
And they're going to be able to take this tower. 3 members in the mid lane here. Karina might die, but they're deciding to play it safe.
Indeed they do.
Rakan here, trying to get the vision as deep as they can on G2 jungle. Look at the Rakan there. He's so deep, and he's not being punished for it.
It's just also so hard to punish the Rakan because he's so mobile.
True. But look at how bright the map is for King. That's what we talked about earlier, and how King gets the control over the map with the vision. And it really sets them up for great ganks, and they just know where G2 is. They know what to expect.
Yes. And this is exactly where they shine on. They get the early aim control. Now they still have a draft that scales quite well to where they can completely define on later on as well. But with the full control, it's just going to be so hard to you know, tear this game out of their hands. And with this, the match victory, the grand final victory, it's just looking so one-sided in favor of King. It's just crazy how they perform. And another thing that's, you know, very, very scary about this team, what makes me want
Is that a silver red? Did he? I'm not. Can we see what happened?
Not sure. I'm not sure if Ezreal has red buff.
Yeah, me too.
I think Karina smote it away.
Can we get to see Karina or Ezreal?
No,
he wasn't able to get it. Yeah.
Nice
that would
try.
have been so sad.
They had vision on it. But anyway, so what I wanted to say is, like, it's actually just sad because King is probably going to finish this off with just 4 games played. Completely deserved. But I want to see so much more of this team and what they can do, because this draft is completely different. And they're playing it out even better than before.
But G2 is still not out yet. So we might see a throw from King here. And as you said, the Velvet scales, so it's not really doomed yet for G2. But King are getting another Herald here. And this really puts the Velvet in a bad position.
Yeah, Karina is not getting those neutral
But they're
objectives.
looking for a kill on the Ezreal.
But I think Stu is just going to walk out of this one. Walking up on bot lane, I don't think they can get in range. Do they? Glance is going to get used with the flash. Tibbers can't escape though. So at least something going back into the favor of G2, but at the same time Herald taken on top side of the map. With Stu not getting out, there should be a 1-for-1 trade in turrets, at least if they use the Herald instantly on the top side.
Exactly, they're gonna get the tower, first tower for G2 this game.
Ooh, that's
first blood tower.
Yeah, that's something they did really well here. The crossbow player. I actually
Talia
completely
here.
slipped my mind that it is the first blood turret as Tifa is gonna get traded in.
Seraphine is in a bad spot, but she's gonna be able to escape this one. But this is what I was talking about.
Oh, the two-shot
barrage! Ooh, nice sidestep from the Seraphine. Nice sidestep from the Seraphine. The game is looking very, very intense. Honestly, I feel like it's going to take one team fight to completely flip up this game. Either assure, you know, like keep the snowball for King, or get back G2 into this game.
Yeah, the question now is as well, is G2 Hell gonna contest the Dragon?
I mean, they have to. It is the soul point, and I don't think they want to give it up so easily. Maybe we're going to see another steal from Karina.
Jisoo now also walking up. I mean, Jisoo is going to be so annoying. She can
we
get out
the
anyone
vision?
out of this one. And right now, King, they're just chilling. They're just answering to the push, waiting for Jisoo to walk in. Now Jisoo is there. Now Jisoo can easily focus out the target if she wants to.
Ezreal is once again alone in the bot lane while 5v5.
Yeah, G2L is looking for a punish. The Glacial Prison coming through, but easily cleansed. Now they're looking for the turn on the side of King, and it's looking very good for them. Dini is going to get out thanks to the mobility. Jisoo trying her best to finish off Lysia, but actually there's a chance for G2L to turn this round around. Jisoo now can't finish off, but has the shield to stay alive for so long. Grabs Cultist, who still has the Feather Storm in her pocket, and now the Feathers might be able to finish her off. Big flash by Cultist as she gale falls in to finish off her target here. Still in trouble, but she can zone away Cultist while Candleherb takes the turn to finish off Karina. A lot of kills back and forth, but King still has a lot of damage to deal. Cultist falls, Lysia falls, 2 flashes in, almost kills Tifa as well. And Colomb and Tifa can walk out with the slither of HP while the Herald is being used, and the Drake is gonna get taken now as well.
3-4-1 for King here, dominating this fight, and I feel like it's the same mistake from G2 once again. You had the Mordekaiser, and he was this time pretty low, but they decided not to focus him. I really don't know why. They could have gotten the kill on the Mordekaiser and then, you know, tried to kill the closest target to them, but they decided not to, and that cost them this fight, and which also cost them the soul point. For here goes to King. This is really, really looking to be a hard game for G2 at this point. 5k gold difference. We're gonna have a replay here. See? Look, Jisoo. Look. They were trying, you know. No, actually, it was earlier than this. But very nice Feather Storm from Zaya here. The Gale Force. She got the kill.
And then the Feathers didn't connect on here.
Look, Candleherb. She gets the kill onto the Karina and the Talia. She's gonna be able to get the kill on the Cultists. And, yep. Sadly, the flash here from Sue, very aggressive one, but not enough to kill the Annie, and they were able to escape.
Yes, King keeping up the control over this game. Very nice fight. Even though G2L, they found picks, they did as well as they could. King came out ahead. Here with a good read that wall to finish off Cultist 2, who already invested everything in that fight and couldn't get herself out of this one, as now they're looking for another pick. Jumping over the wall with the blast cone. They're taking control around the Baron, which is coming up in 30 seconds. Just to, you know, like just to put some more pressure on G2L. I don't believe they're gonna start it. For them, it's more about, you know, keeping the controlled game, not giving this out of their hand, and they know the next big focus actually should be the Soul. It's more about they have the Baron pressure, just in case, if G2L overforces a Dragon, if G2L overforces a play on bot lane, that they still could go for the Baron because of their vision setup.
This game was looking so bright for G2, but sadly there were so many mistakes, I would say, and not really focused into those team fights. So now they're getting punished for it, and King are very much ahead here with 6k gold, and the difference is only getting bigger and bigger. They do have the vision there. I'm not sure if they know. Oh, Karina, you have to be careful. The Vi. Maybe we're gonna see a fight here. Looking to Karina. He's in a bad spot.
No, Jisoo.
So strong. Lysia might try to look for an ult there, but they're playing it safe.
Yeah, they also know and respect where they have the vision control, so they're playing for the top side and respect that there could be a Lysia flying over the wall.
Yeah, look at the Vi,
so
deep. Mordekaiser is going to the bot lane to pressure that one, and he does not have the TP. So if a fight comes along here, and we have 5 members from G2 in the mid lane versus 3 from King. The Talia is also pushing the top lane. Looks like both teams are just gonna go back. They have to. I mean, you gotta defend that bot tower and the top tower too.
Yeah, G2L is looking to contest the vision, but now King can just walk back in again and clear it out. It's just the back and forth around the Baron control, and now it's in favor of King really, really quickly. Yet again.
Look at that stopwatch from Rakan. He is planning on, you know, getting into the fight. Okay.
No fight breaking out. Weaver's Wall just creating enough space to take the inner turret on mid lane really easily. And the minion in the jungle, Karina's fighting, just doing some weird stuff. That was actually hilarious.
Yeah. But looking evenly here, nothing much happening. 7k gold difference. If they can manage to get a shutdown on the Vi and on the Talia and get that Baron, they could get back into the game. But we're gonna probably see a contest over the Soul for King. So both teams were looking at G2. They're gonna try and get the vision around the river there. Already doing it. And yeah, the next team fight is probably gonna be there. Already having the TP here from the Talia to the mid lane. Ooh, look at the Annie. Oh, but they, yeah, Scryer's Bloom.
And you can also see how King is respecting the areas where they don't have vision, where they perfectly position themselves around the map too. It just makes it so hard to go for the trap here, but now they think they have found something. Shuelia has used flash by Hehe, dodges out of the Glacial Prison, but G2 Hell, they're under pressure because the dragon is spawning soon. They need to do something. It's actually already up as Jisoo is going in. He's going to grab 2 targets and is focusing out one in the death round. Only Cultist can hit her right now, as Cultist is just going to get taken down. The death round is going to be over soon, but not before Cultist is going to die. And Jisoo is just destroying the backline of G2 Hell. They are getting decimated. Only Karina is able to stay alive.
Only Karina is alive, which is going to be enough for King to take the Baron, because I don't think they're gonna go for the Baron at the same time by securing that soul for them, the Chemtech soul here, and it's pretty much GG's for King.
Yeah, Karina is looking for something here, trying to find the
Steal,
right
maybe?
timing. She has no vision, but she's definitely gonna try to steal this one again. And maybe she's gonna do it. She does it! Smite's on point for Karina, but can she turn this one around? She's gonna hit her true form, but she's just too weak to do anything while the Baron gets finished off too.
Close, close, but honestly, that's the maximum she could have done this with what she had. You know, all her team members were dead.
Yes.
It was, you know, half of King are doing Baron and the other is doing Drake, but at least she was able to steal that Drake. She's pretty good at stealing objectives.
Yeah, and she has the smite advantage for... Oh, wow, that Ezreal damage is immense. Cultist almost half HP. They find her. She's still standing around there. It's going to get hit by another mystic shot and needs to flash the second one. Teleport coming through. They're just going to try to chase her down because they know if they find her, if they find a lot of members of G2, this might be the game. Dini still looking for the grand entrance. Cultist taking a lot of poke. Dini with the cleanse, and now they are actually finding Colombe, who doesn't have any way to escape. Cultist still walking away, trying to look for a recall while Colombe is gonna fall. The best Chitra can do right now is just delaying everything, but Candleherb found Cultist in the jungle as well, so it's not only Colombe down, Cultist fell, and they have the Baron on the side of King, looking to tear down the base of G2 Hell with dash timers over 20 seconds. That should be at least an inhib for King.
Cultist and Colombe are down, and King are going to be able to get this tower and inhibitor indeed, especially with the Baron buff. But are they going to look to end this game? Probably not, as the timers of Cultist and Colombe are back. But if they could catch one of the members, they maybe could push for that. But they're going to decide to go back and play this one safely. First inhibitor for King in the post side, but look! Karina get caught up here!
Oh, she's in the death run. She must be dead. GGL can't help her.
She is dead. This could be the end of the game. They're gonna try and end this game right now. They're just waiting for the wave to come here, especially they have the Baron buff. They could easily end this now.
Two-shot barrage only hitting Lysia, and with the Molten Shield from Annie, she's allowed to stay alive for now, but they're still gonna try to look for this turret. Colombe going in with the stun, but Jisoo, she's just too strong. She just can't get damaged. They're tearing down the base of G2 while they are watching, while they can't do anything about that. Lysia knocked back into the team. The encore hits, but only to play this defensively. Xayah is gonna get finished out. Unstoppable Mordekaiser. Jisoo is literally that, unstoppable. As the King is about to win the Girl Gamer World Final. finals in Bahrain. G2 Hell standing no chance against them. Karina is gonna fall yet again. Sue getting that kill this time. Just Arcane shifts into Tifa, while on the other side it is Lysia getting finished off, and we have a winner.
King are gonna dethrone the European team. This is the first time we're gonna have the South Korean team win the World Finals for Girl Gamer. Congratulations to King. 3-0 finals. They dominated this tournament. They dominated the game, and it is more than just a deserved win.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Before that game, you could still maybe give them the benefit, give the benefit of the doubt. They had a bit of an advantage because no one really knew what to expect from them. But now we know, and now I would love to see them play more. I'm actually really sad that it's over already.
Yeah.
But out of the reason that King just plays so amazing, and they showed a completely different draft. And to be honest, I even think this was their best game out of all of them.
I mean, it was a bit one-sided, this game, much more. I mean, the first one, really G2 put up a fight, but this one, there were so many mistakes from G2 side. The pressure just hit them, especially because it was the last game, and King were able to secure this one and bring the championship home.
Yeah, it's just massive. I mean, seeing King on such an aggressive draft, like there's so much they can actually play. You always see how much they respect the vision, even if G2 Hell is trying to set up a trap. They're camping in a bush, just looking to get a stun down with the Tibbers, with Annie, trying to finish someone off. No, King is just gonna wait. They know where they have vision, where not, where G2 Hell could be on the map, and where not. And they always respect it so well that even if you can like get some vision, some control for yourself as G2 Hell, you never can get some kills back. And this is just, you know, the huge thing about this team. As soon as they get a lead, they are in full control of the game. They're not going to give it away. And even when they're behind, they're just playing so consistent that as soon as you do a mistake, you're going to get punished for it. And
look at them.
They're playing almost flawless. It is just crazy. It is so crazy how well they play.
It is so crazy. And it feels so bad for Cultist. She actually won last year's final, but this time there is another champion in town. They're going to look for this new challenge. It is really great to see teams like King come into the esports scene, especially for the women. They really put up a much higher standard.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, this competition is also going to raise the standard because generally looking at the last Girl Gamer events, it was Europe winning it. And it's also something, as we see the handshakes coming through, G2 Hell, just out of the previous, like looking who won the previous events, was coming in as the favorite from Europe. You thought it's going to be European dominance, but no, it's Korean dominance. That's just going to raise the stakes so much higher for future international events as well.
Most definitely. And we're not going to have the ceremony of the winners now. We're going to have it after the CSGO best of 3. And so stay tuned after that one to be able to see King lift that trophy and bring it home to South Korea.
Exactly. We will see
Congratulations!
that. Oh, congrats. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Well-deserved victory.
What did they say? 감사합니다?
I have no clue, but
I hope I didn't butcher that. But hey, it's back into us. This was a wonderful tournament. I'm so glad I got to witness it, honestly. The best of 1s, the best of 3, and this best of 5. Sad, you know, we didn't see 3 games played. I feel like maybe G2 could have done something if there was actually a 3rd game. But it is what it is, and this is how the tournament format is. And congratulations once again for King.
yeah, it's just amazing also for us to be really thank you for GIRLGAMER to putting up this tournament. It's really supporting the teams a lot for a future where we actually don't need those tournaments anymore. But for now, it's just amazing to have those every year until the barrier is getting closed. And I think this tournament is just, you know, it's rising the stakes so high. Europe wasn't the favorite. It was, in the end, it was South Korea taking over here, and that also shows G2 Hell when they, you know, get back home. There's still so much to improve for the future because that's definitely not the last we see of them either.
Definitely, there is a new rival to look out for, and they're just putting the stakes much higher now. Congratulations once again for King, and this is it for us. It was lovely casting for you. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we're gonna head into a conference. I think a break into a conference into the CSGO finals. So stay tuned, be there, watch it, and after that, there's gonna be the ceremony for the winners. Thank you.